Hey guys, so today I am going to be making donuts, but I am not cooking donuts. I am actually making fake donuts, and I am going to be showing you 3 ways of making them. I am going to be telling you what the pros are and what the cons are, and I am going to get started. Okay, so I picked up 3 different materials to make these donuts with. And the first one that I picked up was this right here, which is the Crayola Air Dry Clay. This is the 2.5 pound bucket. I believe this was around $8, $6 to $8. Then I picked up this right here, which is the Nickelodeon Modelite, and this is actually from Cra Z Art. That's the brand. And this is the 7.5 ounce bucket, and it looks like this. It cost me $5. And the third material that I'm using today is this right here, and this is the Crayola Model Magic, and this is 4 ounce pack. It cost $5. So the other option is to buy one from the Dollar Tree, and they come in 1 ounce packages, the Crayola Model Magic, and they now cost $1.25. So basically it's the same price as buying the bigger pack, but if you only need a little bit, then just go ahead and pick up the 1 ounce pack. So I'm going to start by showing you what these different products look like when they are taken out of the package and when I start working with them. This right here is the Nickelodeon Modelite white clay. So I got cornstarch on this, and now it's like this, not sticky whatsoever. So the key to making this be more like Model Magic is to add cornstarch. This is not sticky at all. At all. And it's a little more sturdy, I feel. Definitely more sturdy. Just a little bit of water. See if that helps. I don't know why it's still like showing the unison here, so the color is a lot different. Okay. Feels more like clay. This one feels like clay. It smells like dirt. It actually does have an actual earth clay. Oh, actually clay. dries hard. So you just saw how I made my donuts, how the materials look right out of the packaging. Now I am going to be showing you how I decorated them. So I'm using this right here, Spackle paint, and I'm putting it together right here, just like mixing in this bowl. You're going to put as much paint or as little paint as you want. You do want to make it a little bit more liquidy. Alright, now I'm going to be grabbing some Mod Podge. So I put some Mod Podge in there, and now I am going to mix. And what I want is to make it more like a glaze, like a lot more liquidy, instead of it being like whipped cream. So now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to dip my donuts in it. Before I continue, I wanted to show you the difference between the different mediums. So this one right here is the Modelite, Nickelodeon Modelite from Craft Art. Cra Z Art. This one right here is the Model Magic from Crayola. As you can see, this one is a little bit darker than this one. This one is a lot lighter than this one. Then I also have this one right here, and this is actually the Air Dry Clay from Crayola, and this is really heavy. This actually feels like a rock. So you see the difference right here. This one is squishy a little bit. This one does have a little bit of give, but it's not as squishy as this one. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab a donut, probably a smaller one right here. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a donut, the nice side, because the back looks like this. So I'm going to go ahead and dip it in here, and it's going to look like this. And now I want to kind of like move it around a little bit, so I'm going to use a paintbrush. And honestly, I feel that I really should have put a little bit more of that thing. I'm doing this so it can like kind of settle. Now on here, I'm going to put some sprinkles. So I have these sprinkles right here, and I'm going to be using these sprinkles on it. And with the tweezers, I'm going to just like put the sprinkles on it and kind of like submerge them a little bit inside like that. These I got from Hobby Lobby, and these were about $2.99. It's a tiny little bag, and these are actually made out of foam. Alright, so I am going to be grabbing a little bit of this color right here, and this is the Apple Barrel. It's called Antique Parchment, because donuts are kind of like this color and a little bit yellowish.
So I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it, make it a little more of a taupey sort of color. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit more of this parchment white and just kind of like mix that a little bit. I'm going to do one more with this. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one, which is already kind of dry. And as you can see, this one is already drying. You can see it's been about like 5 minutes, but this one is already drying. Now, the Mod Podge that I'm using is this one right here, which is matte. And I think for this type of project, you definitely need glossy. So, just keep that in mind. So I have this mixed already, and this is with this. So this is with Cameo Pink. And that's what this is. We have Spackle, and we have this. Now I am going to add some Mod Podge to it. So the Mod Podge, a little bit like that. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that. The idea is to make the consistency quite runny. So I'm going to go ahead and now start dipping these donuts in there. So I'm going to grab this, it's already dry, and I'm going to be dipping it in there. Putting a little bit extra right here just because I feel like it didn't quite catch it. Okay, and that looks good. So that's going to stay like that. Now I am going to go ahead and use it on this one, which is really large. And put that in there. And that's it. See? So I'm just tapping, and I'm going to put sprinkles on. Alright, so we have those ready. With the same mix that I already have, I am going to be adding a little bit of this darker pink to it, and this is called Pink Blast. And now I am going to go ahead and dip it in there. So it kind of has a little bit of a tie-dye effect. And just see it like that. Now I'm going to mix it a little bit more so we get an even color. And I'm going to put one of these. So I'm going to go ahead, maybe use this one. And I think I'm going to use a little bit more, just because I feel like that's not enough. Now since this one is a little bit more runny, I think that this one's going to start looking a little bit different. I think for this one, I am just going to add a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to add a little bit of glitter. And I know that that's kind of a little bit weird, but that's what I'm going to do. use a paint, and I'm going to paint this one and paint it in green. So this is called Spring Green Gloss.
Just in case I wasn't clear enough, because I think that I actually started before, like, I actually didn't film some parts. I did use lightweight spackle, and this lightweight spackling, I got it from the Dollar Tree, $1.25, and I mixed it with Mod Podge. I don't have exact quantities, but I mixed it with Mod Podge, so it was like a little bit runny, but not too runny, so that it wouldn't like run down the donut. Now, if what you want is for it to run down the donut, then add a little bit more of this Mod Podge. You can use whatever color you want. So I use several colors, including this pink right here, this other pink right here, but all that information is in the video. And lastly, I use these sprinkles right here. Hi, baby. I use the sprinkles right here, and these are from Hobby Lobby. They're about $2.99. Unless they're on sale, then they would be half off. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on the different materials. I'm gonna start out with the air dry clay from Crayola. So the bucket is 2.5 pounds. It's really heavy. I think just from like grabbing the bucket, you know that this is gonna be a very heavy clay. It does look like actual clay, like a very light clay, so like earth, you know, natural soil. And it is very heavy. So my idea was to make these to stick on the wall. These cannot go on the wall unless I hook them up from like a screw or something. So I am just gonna lay them on a table. They're great as paperweights, I feel, and they're great also for weighing down fabric when you sew. So decorations that you're gonna put on a table, paperweights, or sewing weights, fabric weights. That's what I think they would be really nice as. So this is what they came out looking like. The more you let it stand out in the air, the harder it's gonna become. Now, I made these on Monday and it's already Thursday, so it's been 4 days since I made these, and these are pretty hard already. So this is what they look like. Very nice. The next material is going to be the Model Magic. So the Model Magic, I feel like it's the smoothest of them all. This was the Model Magic right here. And as you can see, like, it is pretty smooth. The only thing with the Model Magic is that it cracks. As you can see right there, it's like cracked. This is where I joined them, so it was like that. But this right here is a crack that came out of it. I don't know how to make it not crack. You can see on the inside as well. Another thing that I made with Model Magic was this right here, like this little cake. And you can see that it is all cracked. It's very cracked. So, if you know how to fix that, if you know how to prevent it from doing that, then I think that is great, because other than that, it's a very, very smooth material to work with. Right out of the bag, it is super like smooth, soft. It doesn't stick on your hand, so it's not sticky whatsoever. And it is just a pleasure to work with this material. Like, I absolutely love this one. So out of all of them, the one that felt the best to work with was the Model Magic. But the final result is what I don't like as much. Okay. When you squeeze this, it has a little bit of give, but it's like a tiny little bit of give, even though it's completely dry already. The next material is the Cra Z Art Modelite. It's super soft, air hardening modeling material. It's non-toxic, contains no wheat, but it's not intended to be eaten. Okay, so same instructions, let it dry for 72 hours. This one I feel like it's the most squishy out of all of them, especially like this part right here. It's a little bit more squishy. As you can see, I was able to like squeeze it, but it pops right up. Not like a squishy, like a regular squishy would do, but it does have a little bit more give than the Model Magic, for example. This one also is a little bit heavier than this. The lightest of all of them would be this one right here. It's the lightest, so it doesn't weigh as much as the rest of them. This one I think is great for stuff to go on the wall, just because it doesn't weigh that much, although the Model Magic does fine on the wall as well. This one, as you saw in the video, was the stickiest of them all. It was very sticky. It was sticking to my surface. It was sticking to my hands. It was just sticking to everything. Now, the tip that I have for you is to use cornstarch, because cornstarch is what made it not sticky anymore, and it made it resemble the Model Magic. So that's what I use as fondant whenever I make marshmallow fondant. That is exactly what I use, cornstarch, and it actually worked with this product. So I am quite surprised and pleased that it actually did work. So the other thing that I was going to tell you about it is that, so this one, as you can see, is very smooth. This one, on the other hand, this is the Model Magic. This is the Modelite. Modelite, I feel like it doesn't come out as smooth as this one. It's not that it's horrible, but it's not as smooth. So what I used was a little bit of water just to try and smooth it out, but the water didn't really help that much. Then I added a little bit of the cornstarch to it, and I feel like that worked a little bit, but it never really ended up being quite as smooth as the Model Magic. Now with the air dry clay, because it's actually clay, you do need to use water to smooth out anything. That's the key to smooth out things: water and patience. Okay, so I am going to show you like all the little things that I made with this Modelite, because it's the one I use the most. So, because it brings more. I mean, you get 7.5 ounces for $5 versus 4 ounces from Model Magic for $5. Okay. I painted some of them more like a beigey yellowish color, and then other ones I left white and I didn't paint with anything. And then I made this one. This one actually has the Modelite underneath. The actual donut is Modelite, but then this top part I was kind of experimenting with the Model Magic. So this green part is actually Model Magic. This part on the bottom is Modelite, and I just attached it with a little bit of water. Now this right here, I made it to look like frosting, like green frosting. Then I brushed on some school glue, and then I added glitter to it, and then with the school glue I attached the sprinkles. So some of these I actually attached the sprinkles with this glue, and other ones I just inserted them on the wet paint, and they work just as well. So the winner for me out of all these is this one right here, which is the Modelite from Cra Z Art. Why? Okay, you compare it to the Model Magic, you get almost twice the product for the same price. Let's start out with that. Second of all, once it dries, it does not crack whatsoever. There are no cracks in these at all. They're a little bit softer, but that's okay because I wasn't making something that couldn't be soft. Now, they're not too soft that if you like just grab it, it's gonna indent or anything. No, if you grab it, if you like, you know, if you go like that, nothing happens to it. It's fine. You could actually throw it. It does not break. Same with the one from Model Magic. Now, this one is like a rock. So if you throw it really hard, it's going to break. The one from the Air Dry Clay, because it's clay. Another thing that I did want to mention is that the Modelite is completely white. As you can see right here, it is completely white. This one, Model Magic, although it says white in the back, that it's the white one, it's kind of like an off-white sort of shade when compared to the whiteness of the Model Light. All of them say non-toxic, and the last thing is that you can store them for a long time as long as they're in an airtight container. I have this right here in a Ziploc, but I think that I might do like a double Ziploc just in case. And these actually come in a container that is airtight, so that is good. So you could keep using them in weeks or months to come. All right, so tell me what you thought of these projects. Tell me if you have ever worked with any of these products and what did you think of them. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. Bye.